Thanks for staying with us. A Pietermaritzburg businessman who allegedly murdered his wife, Delana Cader, has told the court he's not a violent man. Rawlins has been in custody since the singer's death on the eve of Mother's Day and is now applying for bail. eNCA senior reporter Dasen Thathiah tells us more.
Details have emerged in the Pietermaritzburg Magistrates Court, highlighting the final moments of gospel singer Delana Cader's life. She was murdered on May 13th, allegedly by her estranged husband, Rawlins. It's alleged that he followed her after a family event and then put his gun into the car that she was traveling in and fired several shots. According to a statement by the investigating officer during his bail application, he fired around 12 shots and she passed away shortly after that. Following that incident, he allegedly then called his attorney and handed himself over only a few hours later. Now, during his testimony through an affidavit, he also said that he doesn't have a violent disposition and no previous criminal records. He stated that he needed to be out on bail to ensure that those that worked for him are paid. And he said that the witnesses were under no threat. He also stated in that affidavit that he had even contributed to funeral costs. Now, those statements have angered the family. I'm going to bring in now Elton Adkins, who is the family spokesperson. Sir, let's start with just your reaction to what you heard in court. I only touched on some of it.
Yes.
There was a lot that came out.
Absolutely. Well, Dasen, you just mentioned now about him not having, you said he doesn't have a violent disposition and he contributed to the funeral costs. I just want to state to the viewers that is absolute lies. Rawlins has always had a violent disposition. I've seen it personally, and he's never contributed a cent to a funeral. So I just want to dispel those lies once and for all. Another thing is that for the family, earlier we saw the mother, Wendy Hammond, on the steps right of this court in tears, breaking down because it's so much. This family's been going through so much, and the sisters are so angry at the justice system, and especially about the lawyers' arguments that must not bring emotions into this here. This is a very emotive issue. How can we not bring emotions into this here? A mother was killed, shot 10 times, cold-bloodedly, cowardly. So to say not to bring emotions into this here and to say that he's not a threat to the witnesses is a lie, and that he stays further away from it. He's actually so close to one of the witnesses. One of the witnesses to stay just behind him, in a road behind him. And for him to threaten a 4-year-old to say he'll kill his 4-year-old child, it's not just public. It's not just we heard it in court today. It's public knowledge that we've known about since a murder. Yeah.
So obviously, after hearing all of this, are you convinced? I mean, it's difficult to predict, but are you convinced that that this court will find in the favor of the 8,500 people that had signed that petition?
Yes, definitely. We really believe that the judge will hear our cry, that this man does not deserve bail. Absolutely, and that we can't wait for tomorrow. We'll be here again tomorrow. We've been here every time there's been a bail application, and we expect the judge to rule in our favor.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your time there. That petition, which has been signed by community members and relatives and friends of Delana Cader, has been submitted to the court for consideration. The bail judgment will be heard on Thursday in this court. I'm Dasen Thathiah in Pietermaritzburg.